What's up guys, Kito Chee here, and I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. I just haven't been really learning much as of late, but I have come up with my own little DIY idea for whenever you're doing stand-up shows and you want to do some card tricks, but due to the angle in which your audience is sitting. A lot of times whenever I'm doing like kid shows or adult shows and like I'm here and the audience is sitting at the same level of the table, cards that are going to be like here, like this, especially if they're like short or the chairs are like shorter in height than the tables, you're not going to be able to see the card at all, right? And the only way you can do that is by doing it like this, right? That's fine for certain card tricks, but then you're going to be limited with card tricks that you'd want to do, especially if it requires you to deal the cards on the table and in a specific format. So I wanted to think of a way. I mean, the only other option, obviously, is if you were doing it on a big stage and they have the jumbotron and the cameraman like recording, like you're not gonna have that luxury every single time, especially if you're just doing for like a private party or something like that. You need something that will kind of tilt the angle forward so that the audience can still see it, and it's obviously like nice and portable, compact, and you can take it with you wherever you need to go. So this is sort of what I've come up with as far as resolving that problem. And hopefully, if you're a close-up magician or you like to do card magic for your stand-up show or close-up show, this is probably your best option and most budget option. So what these are essentially two reading stands or book stands. I got these on Amazon and I got two of them. And what I've done is what this is for, right? You actually put your book here and you'll have these little fork things that kind of hold the book in place. I removed those because won't need them. And yeah, so it's essentially that. I'll leave links in the description if you want to pick these exact ones up and such, but they're really cheap. They're like around $20 Canadian per stand. And the nice thing is, if you look here, you can adjust the angle in which they stand. So this is like the lowest angle, right? And then this is obviously the sharpest angle with each little slot. Okay. Now, what I've done to modify this, because obviously one wasn't enough, I needed to have a nice wide enough area so that sometimes if I have a spectator up, I need them to have their own table space to do their card dealing, and then I need my own space to do my card dealing. Or in the case if I'm doing like the Card Hit Wonder by Justin Flom, I need more table space, and I want to make sure the audience can see everything, right? And I don't want to be limited by just this narrow space. So this is the biggest modification or DIY portion. Is essentially, I'm going to take this off first. These are some Picatinny rails. I'm an airsofter on the side, so I was so lucky to have these. But basically, if you get these two Picatinny rails that are the same length, right? I'll try to find links to put in the description so you can hopefully find something like this. You will need a power drill as well, with a drill bit that is the same size as these screws for the Picatinny rail. And once you screw these in, or once you drill and screw these in so that that way they're nice and secure, just make sure it's nice and even, okay? But then all you need is now another Picatinny clamp. This is sort of like this is what they call a Picatinny riser for your sights and everything, so you can raise your rifle sight or whatever higher. But in this case, this is going to act as like a clamp to hold these boards in place. So once you have these, have this one, and I make sure it's like a quick detachable one, so you can easily just pull that to loosen it and then push it in to tighten it. So once it's here, you just gotta clamp that on like this. There we go. Once that's there, you can now just stand this up, and of course you'll have this like normally be like this, but when you're ready, just put those down. And the great thing is now I can do pretty much all of my card tricks that I would want to do that I was before limited to, that I was limited before. Now I'm able to do that. So for example, if I wanted to do like an oil and water trick, I'm not going to do the whole trick in itself, but I'm able to display the cards like this. So if you were even if you are at a flatter angle, any audience watching from the crowd area, you'll be able to see this, right? Providing you're kind of dealing the cards right to left, so you can see all the pips and everything. The only downside is you wouldn't, like, if you do it this way, they might have a harder time seeing. So in one case where I do have to deal the card sideways like this for like the card hit wonder trick, I just raise that card up a little bit, that way you can see my name on the card, right? So that's that. But most card tricks, like, you're gonna be dealing on like this anyway, so that way everything is nice. You got a nice display for your tricks. So yeah, you can just, for example, if you're dealing like this, and the nice thing too is because of these stands, or these little mounts at the back here, you're able to just kind of collect everything really nicely, and just kind of pressing it up against the wall of the stand. It makes it really easy to kind of collect it up afterwards. So as you're dealing, you can just collect it like that. When you're drilling the holes, obviously you're gonna end up going through the board, so just make sure you kind of sand it off or make sure it's smoothed out. The other thing is, depending on the board itself, you might have a little bit of a edge here that won't allow you to go smoothly over. So if you have like a little file or wood file, just kind of, I had to do this on mine, but just gotta sand this part down a little bit or file it down, that way you get a nice smooth edge, so it's easy for you to, like, even when you're here, you can easily scoop that up without any interference like that. And the nice thing too, which is probably the best part with this build, is that when you need to take this on the go or you need to pack up, this stores really nicely and flat. And then when you take this part here, just clamp it on one of the Picatinny rails, fold this part in, and then just kind of stack them like this. And I mean, provided you have a nice little slip or slot in your like suitcase or your magic bag, this is pretty compact. Like, it doesn't take up too much space, and provided you have a nice little slot in your backpack or something to kind of slide that in. But yeah, it's great. And then of course it only takes you maybe 30 seconds to a minute to set this up when you have to do your stand-up show or something like that. It's great. So yeah, this is like my most recent build and sort of innovation, I suppose. I'm probably not the first one to come up with something like this, but it works. And I haven't officially used these yet in a show, but I'm pretty confident that these are gonna work really well and help me out, and I got more flexibility as far as what card tricks that I can perform now to my audiences and so forth, especially when I have like repeat customers and they want to see different stuff. So yeah, if you have any questions about this, just let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I'll leave links in the description for all of the parts and stuff that you'll need to kind of put this together. But yeah, otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in my future videos. Until next time, Peace out, guys.